friends and spiritual travelers. I'm Mystic Owl. We have another pick a card reading here for you today. Today's theme is what's holding you back. So let's get an idea about the thing that you need to work on so that you can push forward in life and be a lot more free. We have 4 piles for you today. Pile 1 with the Hematite. Pile 2 with the Adventuring Spear. Pile 3 with the Clear Quartz Seer Stone. And pile 4 with the Leopard Jasper. Please use your intuition to choose a pile. Remember, this is a general reading, so take only that which resonates with you and leave the rest behind. I thank you all for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and let's move on to pile number 1. Welcome, pile number 1, with the lovely Hematite Stone, which is all about balance and harmony. It's also very magnetic. So it may bring things towards you, potentially. Mostly I just see it being about balance, balancing out your life. But let's get some further insight about what's holding you back. We'll start with your Mystical Healing Oracle card. You have number 1. For pile 1, that's beautiful. Access clear thinking. Interesting. I am sensing for you, pile 1, that maybe you're in a phase of life where you're feeling as if you're not sure what direction to go down, like you're in limbo a little bit. Your life may be just slightly out of balance and you're not sure what it is to do to feel as if you know where you're going, or to like have this sense of certainty about the direction in life that you want to go down. I sense that potentially something in your life has ended recently and you're just kind of waiting to get that intuitive knowledge or understanding about why that happened or where it is you're supposed to go now. So it may just be that you're questioning potentially, like you're at a crossroads and you're not sure which path to take. You've got a choice to make here, and maybe you feel as if you don't have all the information that you need to be able to make the right decision. So you're kind of just waiting at the moment, biding time to work out what it is that you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to go next. Kind of reminds me of like the Hanged Man in tarot, where you're hanging from the tree, looking at life from a different perspective, trying to work out why certain experiences happened in your life, what it is you can gain, what wisdom you can gain from that experience, and where you're supposed to go on your journey next, sort of like assimilating that experience and knowledge within you. Interesting. So let's get some further insight for you about what's holding you back from your oracle cards. You have the card of Rest, number 15. And you have the Have Faith in Your Dreams card, the Waxing Crescent Moon. Beautiful. That's a very positive and uplifting card, isn't it? Okay, what I'm getting from that, pile 1, I sense that potentially you're a little bit frustrated, that maybe also there's something that you've been trying to work on that just hasn't been going the way you had hoped. You've been putting a lot of time and effort and energy into a new task, a creative passion of yours, or maybe a lot of time at work, potentially working on a project or putting in the extra hours, and it doesn't seem like you're being recognized by your peers and your boss. I just see that now's a period where like you're feeling a little frustrated with not being just able to see the rewards for your efforts. I do sense that potentially some of you are in a phase of being in limbo, where maybe something in your life has ended, but you're not sure where it is you're supposed to go next, or why you went through a certain experience. But this frustration is just causing you to, like, I think potentially become close to burning out, is what I'm seeing. I sense that because you're pushing yourself so hard to try and achieve certain things, I just see a group that could benefit from spending a lot of time just resting and recuperating, that you're actually not thinking clearly. With the Access Clear Thinking card, you're not able to think clearly about what it is that you're supposed to do or where you want to go, because you're just burnt out, is what I'm seeing here. I think if there is a certain task or creative passion that you've been putting effort into, or maybe you've been wanting to like really make a great impression at work and putting in the extra hours and working hard. It may also be a relationship that you're putting a lot of time and effort into, wanting to take it to the next level, or to show that special someone that you actually do have feelings for them and that you're very committed. I just think it's time for you to maybe like just to chill out a little bit. I'm seeing a group that's maybe pushing too hard, like strong sort of divine masculine energy here of taking action, wanting to really control the outcome. But what I am sensing for you, Power One, is that you could really benefit from maybe doing something else that would bring you joy and happiness outside of this situation. This is definitely a group that could do with a little bit of self-love and self-care. Maybe you are tired and you actually just need some rest. You need to sleep, get some more hours sleep. You might be working too hard and doing long hours, and you're feeling run down and burnt out. But what I am sensing also is this is a group that, like, I think if you switch your mind or your focus onto something else, maybe doing something that you love and enjoy, then the answers that you are seeking will just kind of like pop into your mind. You know, when you change your focus from something that you can't get the answer to, or you don't understand, or can't quite sort of see through, when you actually stop thinking about it and then like start watching a movie or reading a book or just going for a walk, like an hour later the answer just suddenly pops into your head, and you have an understanding about why you went through that experience or what it is you're supposed to do next. So it's time for you, I think, Power One, to just chill out a little bit. With the have faith in your dreams, the waxing crescent moon here, this card does indicate to me that you will have success, so you will get through this phase of rather being in limbo, or you will get the answers that you are seeking and have an idea about what it is that you're supposed to do next. It also indicates to me that if you are working on something, you've been putting a lot of time and effort into a relationship or a creative passion, or spending a lot of time at work to try and get like approval and notice from your boss and your colleagues, that you will have success doing this. Time will come, but maybe right now isn't just the right time. That you could really just benefit right now from actually taking some time out and doing something else, like shifting your focus onto something else that will bring you joy. And interesting. Your next oracle cards. Yeah, okay. You have the it's not the right time card. As I was just talking about, like, you will have success in your future, but maybe now it's just not the right time to be pushing forward on it. And you have the there's something better card. Interesting. So what I am sensing for you, Power One, if you are in a phase of feeling like you're in limbo, that you don't know what it is that you're supposed to do next, I just sense that very soon you'll have a better understanding about where you're supposed to go, what path you're supposed to go down, or what the next phase in your journey is. If I just see a group potentially that may have lost a job recently, or there's an experience here, I'm picking up on an energy where you've been through an experience that kind of like was almost like the Tower card, where things just fell down around you. It may have felt really unfair, and I sense that it was quite a struggle to get through. You don't actually understand why things didn't work out the way it would, but with the there's something better here card and have faith in your dreams, I really sense that you've gone through it so that you can actually like follow the right path in life. Like, sometimes the universe knows better, you know? Like, if you were in a job that didn't feel right to you, you felt lost or trapped in a career path that, even though it may have paid the bills and you were doing quite well, I sense that you were probably quite successful in this career path or in this relationship or whatever it was for you. I sense that it's fallen apart so that you can actually start afresh and like go after the things that are really quite meaningful to you in your own life, Power One. To do the things that like really resonate with your soul. It's time for you to change paths and to follow your dreams. With the not the right time card here and the rest card, I just sense that like divine timing is coming into it. That now is the time when you should sort of learn to be okay with feeling lost, so that when you actually have the answers and come out of this period of like being in limbo where things are not moving forward for you the way you hope, that you can actually appreciate what it feels like to be on the right path. Sometimes we need that strong dichotomy in life to be able to appreciate the good things. Like, you wouldn't know what happiness is unless you've been through the dark. You need that clear black and white dichotomy to be able to appreciate all of the good things in life, to be able to be grateful for the things that you have. So I sense that you've been through, or you're currently in like a really trialing time where you're just feeling as if you're not sure where you're going or what it is that you're supposed to do next. But the answers will come very soon is what I'm seeing. It's just time to maybe just chill out a little bit and accept that this is where you're supposed to be right now. Let's get some further insight for you, Pile 1, about how you can get through this period, about what you need to do next to overcome this feeling of being stuck. Spirit, can we get some further insight, please, for Pile 1? What do they need to do in terms of like getting through this limbo phase of feeling stuck and feeling as if they're not sure what it is that they're supposed to be doing? This feeling of uncertainty. Ooh. Any further messages for Pile 1, please, Spirit? Okay, so you got 3 cards there. Your first card is the Ace of Swords in reverse. You have the Page of Pentacles here. And you also have the Page of Wands. Lovely. 2 pages. Beautiful. Fresh, new energy. Pages also talk about a message or information, some clarity about your path, essentially. And you've got the Ace of Swords here, which is really the card of like inspiration or an epiphany, a sudden understanding or realization. But it's in reverse at the moment. So I just sense that you're feeling a little bit confused is what I am picking up on. You're in this phase of feeling really confused. What's holding you back, I sense, is that you're feeling anxious about being confused, about being stuck in a period where you're not sure where your life is going or what it is that you're supposed to do. But I really see that very soon you're just going to come into a sudden clarity or understanding that this download of information about what it is that you're supposed to do next will come to you very, very soon. It's just not the right time for it, Pile 1. And with the Page of Wands here and the Page of Pentacles, you will have a renewed sense of passion and clarity within your life. There will be a path opening up to you that can lead you towards your biggest dreams and desires here with the Page of Pentacles card falling on the have faith in your dreams. This is something that will be able to provide for your material needs and wants in life. So in terms of what it is that you're supposed to do now, Pile 1, I just think you're meant to learn to be okay with being in the unknown phase so that you can actually appreciate what it feels like to have direction in life when you finally have an understanding about your next move or why you went through this tower moment where your life kind of fell apart or things didn't work out the way you had planned. It's time for you to accept that right now you're meant to take some time out to look after your own needs and to do the things that bring you joy and to appreciate the finer things in life is what I'm seeing for you, Pile 1. And just trust that soon you will have clarity, that you'll be able to turn this Ace of Swords in the upright position and have an understanding about your next move. Just trust in divine timing, Pile 1, is what I'm seeing. And I know that's hard, but most definitely there is a message coming to you with the Page of Wands here too, which also talks about being a messenger, sending you information about what it is you're supposed to do next. That's all I have for you, Pile 1. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Side note, I'm starting personal readings in September 2020. So if you enjoyed this reading and you'd like to get a personal reading, then you can find out how to do so by looking at the description box. The information is there in the description box about how to get in contact with me. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to Pile 2. Hello, pile 2 with the lovely Aventurine Spear. Aventurine related to being green, related to your heart chakra. Maybe there's some inner healing for you that needs to happen, pile 2. Are you holding on to some sort of burden from the past? Or maybe there's some grieving that you need to do? Was there an experience that has hurt you, but you haven't potentially allowed yourself to process the emotions? You've tried to escape or run away from them, or just shut them down potentially because it's been too hard to bear. Anyway, let's get some further insight about what's holding you back, pile 2. We'll start with your Mystical Healing Oracle card. Ooh, you have the card of You Have Support. Now this is lovely, number 36. This card talks about having a lot more support in life than you could ever imagine. So I sense that whatever this thing that potentially has caused you a lot of pain in the past, there's some grief that maybe you haven't processed. Your guides and your angels, your spirit posse is really coming in strongly right now to help you through this period of release, of inner healing, of processing these painful emotions that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to release from your aura. You can also see here this man in the card is like, he's holding a mask up to his face to face the world, to get through the day-to-day experiences. I think you're just being called to like take that mask off, to be your authentic self, and to just show yourself off to the world, to allow those emotions to flow, to not be afraid to grieve or to hurt, to confide in somebody potentially externally, maybe a friend or a loved one also, about what you're dealing with. But most definitely I'm picking up on a group where there's something from your past that is holding you back. You're kind of stuck in the past in terms of not processing emotions from a really painful experience is what I'm getting for you, pile 2. Let's get some further insight for you from your oracle cards. Okay. You have the card of relief, number 22 for pile 2. 222, about harmony and balance. It's also about like partnerships. And you have the South Node card here with a lovely like turquoise green color also, which is similar to the Aventurine. There's also a lot of green in the relief card. Don't let your past hold you back, right? So what I am seeing here, first of all, with all this strong green, and you have the Aventurine green, the green Aventurine here, most definitely related to your heart chakra in terms of like doing some personal healing. What I am seeing is that your guides are coming in quite strong to help you grieve, essentially, pile 2. So have a think about an experience in your recent past. It may even have been from your your childhood. There's most definitely something that is has caused you to believe that maybe life is harder than it really is, or that is holding you back from actually really enjoying every day-to-day, moment-to-moment experience in your life. I am seeing a group that potentially turns to certain addictions or coping mechanisms to be able to process or get through the day-to-day. This is a group that like is very strong and is very resilient. I see with the mask here that you managed to put on a mask when you face the world. You are somebody that likes to try to show the world that you're all okay, that everything's fine. I sense that you are very upbeat and happy when you're at work or around your family. You try to show that you're very, very strong. And you are quite strong is what I'm seeing, pile 2. But sometimes we just need to allow ourselves to like let go of these emotions that are tying us down. So what's holding you back is the need to take some time to actually process emotions from a negative experience from your past. Don't let your past hold you back. Have a think back, pile 2, about something that caused you a lot of pain. It may have been like a breakup with a loved one, potentially a family member or a close friend or colleague like passed away. It may even be like a situation at work that didn't plan out the way that you had hoped. You may have lost your job. You may have had some sort of financial ruin, or you put hopes and desires into something that just didn't work out the way that you had hoped it would. And I sense that like you've been holding the burdens from this in your psyche, in your energetic field, and it's really preventing you from like enjoying most of your experiences in life the way that you should, to be free from the burdens. So the relief card here really talks about like relief from the release of these burdens from your energetic field, from your body. Because sometimes also when we hold on to like, or don't process grief, it can actually have like, it can manifest quite negatively in the body too. You may have some sort of like health issues associated with like not being able to move forward or processing these emotions. This is a group that may have some like upper back pain or like middle to lower back pain. Also, you may have some sort of like heart issues or heart palpitations or something like that. I just see that this is a group that would really benefit from having a good cry, really. Just taking some time to actually think about the things in your past that didn't work out the way that it did, and allow yourself to feel shit about it. Allow yourself to cry about it or to grieve over it. Just knowing that time heals all wounds, pile 2. Try not to run away from those feelings. We need to process and really feel the feels in order to release it from our energetic field and to be free. The relief card also talks about like handing over your burdens to something bigger, to release your burdens to the universe in a sense. So maybe you could benefit from actually like spending time in prayer or meditation with the intent of like releasing these burdens to the universe, to the ether. And you can see here when he's taken off the mask in the you have support card that he's blinded. He's got a blindfold on. He doesn't know where he's going. I sense that you're just feeling a little bit stuck at the moment. Maybe things aren't moving forward in your life the way that you feel that they should be. Or like you're putting a lot of time and effort into a lot of ventures in your life, whether it be a relationship, at work. But you just feel a little bit stuck, and it's because you're still stuck in the past. You haven't released that energy from a previous experience, or even potentially a series of experiences that just caused you a lot of grief and pain. I really feel for this pile, actually. It's time to bring your life back into balance with 22, pile 2, by just having a good cry and sort of reflecting on those experiences that didn't work out for you, or that caused you a lot of pain in your past. Moving on from that, you have the Take Action card. Oh, and you also have the card of If You Believe. Lovely. So what I am seeing for those two cards, If You Believe, this talks about like trusting in something bigger. You know, putting your belief in your biggest dreams and desires, and knowing and trusting in like something greater, like the divine, or that your spirit guides are actually here supporting you. Remember that you have support card. This talks about like having more support than you could ever imagine. So I really sense that you have a lot of guides and angels that are here trying to help you through this period of transformation where you are letting go of a lot of like negative energy and grief from your past. But you really need to believe that you can actually do it, that you can actually get through this phase, that you have the strength within you with the Take Action card to overcome this challenge. Life can be a lot better and a lot easier when we actually choose to reflect upon those experiences from our past, and maybe not only just to process them, but to actually see potentially what benefits they had or what we learned from them. Remember that every perceived negative experience is like something that we're supposed to grow from and learn from. So just have a look back on those things that have hurt you and try to see the positives that have come out of them, pile 2. And with the Take Action card here and Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back, I really sense that like you have a lot of blessings coming your way in your future when you actually sort of choose to spend time allowing yourself to let go of these experiences, to move on from them. I know for myself that when I did a lot of inner work, overcoming my own addictions and trying to overcome certain experiences that caused a lot of grief in my past, like one of my brothers passing away and a breakup from a loved one that I had for 5 years. It took me a long time to process those emotions, but just choosing to do the inner work and choosing to like reflect upon those experiences, choosing to work on those things that I know that weren't good for me and weren't for my greater good, like maybe drinking too much or being too negative on myself, being really hard on myself. I chose to do a lot of work on those things, and like it's amazing what you can experience in life when you're freer from those burdens. Like signs and synchronicities are just so much more prevalent in my life right now. I see the magic in life in my day-to-day experiences. So life can be a lot better if you release this burden from your shoulders, ask for help from your spirit guides and potentially some other loved ones that may listen into what you have to say and guide you through this experience. Moving on from that pile too, I just seen 11:11 on the clock too. Your angels are in strong here. Let's get some further insight about what you can do to overcome or to let go of this grief that's like preventing you from living the best life, from living the life that you deserve, pile 2. Spirit, can we get some further messages of an insight for pile 2 about what they can do to overcome this grief? Ah. Ooh. Okay, God, the cards are flying out for you. So the 4 cards that came out for you. Oh, you have the Knight of Swords in reverse. You have the Knight of Wands too. 2 knights. Interesting. You have the Lovers card. And you also have the Judgment card, right? So most definitely you're being called with the Judgment card here to overcome with the Knight of Swords. I see that you're in a phase of stagnation where you're not moving forward. All of your efforts are not being rewarded. You're not seeing the benefits or the outcomes of the work that you're putting in, the things that you're trying to achieve are not moving forward the way that you want. But you're really being called to, like, the Judgment card talks about like a rebirth, like having more purpose in life and know where you're supposed to be going and what direction you're supposed to be going down. With the Knight of Wands here, it's like a spiritual awakening, a spiritual journey. Like life for you will be so much better when you actually choose to like release the pain from these burdens in the past. And part of it is just about like asking your spirit guides in the universe to help you through it. That's the first part, but it's also about facing your inner demons and trying to openly accept the things that you know haven't worked for you. With the Lovers card here, I do potentially see that maybe a loved one passed away, or it could be a relationship that didn't work out for you. But the Lovers card also talks about commitment. And I sense that this is about you committing to actually like choosing to be the person that you want to be, to choosing to live the life that you've always wanted to live, to actively like act as if you have achieved those things that you've always wanted to do, to act as if your dreams and desires have come true already, pile 2. You are being called to like overcome these challenges too. I really like to think that the people that go through the worst experiences in life then hold the light or hold the space to have so much more light, to be a beacon of hope for other people. And with the strong green here, this is somebody that like has a lot of love to give. Your grief can actually turn out to be, in a way, one of your biggest assets. The fact that you've been through such trialing and painful experiences allows you to be like more empathetic and understanding of other people that are going through similar journeys. So you have the ability here to not only like change your life for the better by choosing to reflect upon those experiences that were painful, and by allowing yourself to feel the feels and to let go of it from your body, but to then like draw upon those experiences to be a beacon of hope for other people that are going through similar experiences. This is really beautiful, pile 2. And remember, you have the card here of support. So just believe that your angels, your angels and your spirit guides are really coming in strong. You're being called right now to take action and overcome this period so that you can really like use it for your greater good and actually turn it into a positive. That's all I have for you, Pile 2. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. On another note, I'm actually starting personal readings now in September 2020, so if you enjoyed this reading and you got something out of it and you'd like a personal reading, you can find out how to get in contact with me by having a look at the description box. The information is there. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3 with the lovely clear quartz seer stone. So this kind of makes me feel that I sense you have a strong sense of where you want to go in life, pile 3. This is somebody that has a direction already planned out. You know what you want from life and where you're going, but potentially you're not entirely sure how to achieve that. There may be things that need to be unveiled to you so that you can, I guess, move on and let things go in the past. This is a group that I sense probably really has faith in something bigger. With the seer stone being related to like spiritual awareness, I sense this is a group that probably has a lot of faith and trust in the divine and in your guides. So you probably are waiting for them to give you a bit more direction about where you want to go. But maybe that's just not necessarily been unveiled to you just yet. But let's get some further insight for you, pile 3, about what's holding you back. We'll start with your Mystic Healing Oracle card. You have the card of Create Boundaries, number 7. 7 being a very highly spiritual number in terms of like 7 realms of heaven, 7 muses. Yes, most definitely a very spiritually inclined group, I sense. But with Create Boundaries, this card talks about like having a very honest inventory of what is good for you and maybe what is not good for you, pile 3, like being very discerning about what benefits your life and maybe what is actually holding you back. I sense this is kind of it's a very obvious sort of answer for you in terms of like physical things that you may have or are partaking in, or potentially certain habits that you partake in that are really not that good for you. It's about like being honest with yourself about whether things are actually benefiting you or not, and if they're not benefiting you, like releasing them and letting go of them, so that you can actually be a lot more free. And I tend to think that when we are actually more in alignment with our true purpose in terms of letting go of those things that aren't serving us and really committing to the things that are good for us, that we have a stronger connection to our higher selves and to our spirit guides. The more that we actually align with our soul purpose, the more in tune we become with the universe and in flow with like where we're supposed to go and what we're supposed to do. But let's get some further insight for you about what's holding you back from your oracle cards. You have number 29 and Nurture. And you also have the Full Moon card, Surrender to the Divine. Okay. Interesting. So first off, the Nurture card, number 29 reducing to 11, which is also a very spiritually inclined number. 11 is the angel number. But Nurture and the Create Boundaries are very similar in their meaning. So the Nurture card also talks about like looking after yourself, essentially, doing the things that you know are good for your body and for your soul. So nurturing your body, the more that we look after our body and treat our body the way it should be, the more in alignment we are, the more that we are, and then I guess the stronger the connection to our higher selves that we have. So this may be talking about like ensuring that you get enough sleep, or maybe not partaking in certain substances that aren't good for you, eating healthily, like nurturing your creative abilities too, spending time doing the things that bring you joy, all of those types of things. So I really say with these two cards that it's time for you to be honest about those things that you need to be more discerning with them, maybe starting to like let go of certain substances or habits that aren't for your greater good or will benefit your future self. ensuring that your body gets enough rest and you're looking after your body the best way you possibly can. It's also the creative boundaries card also talks about like having boundaries with other people. So if there's people in your life that are just really draining, that are maybe taking more than they're giving, choosing to spend less time with those people, choosing to put your own priorities first, putting yourself first with the nurture card here. It's the same message about like being your best friend and doing the things that are good for you and actually make you feel happy and vibrant. And the surrender to the divine, this has two messages. Firstly, it's also about like with the full moon, it's positive energy. There's a lot of like positive sort of inspiration with this group is what I'm seeing, pile 3. The surrender to the divine card talks about like your biggest dreams and desires coming true, about actually focusing on those things that you want from life. Like, what is it that you want in your future, pile 3? Where do you want your life to go? I see this being a group that already has a strong idea about what direction they want to go down in life, about what their life purpose is, about what it is that they want to achieve, and already they know about what is good for you and what is not. You're very discerning. It's time for you to just start committing to these things and actually like doing it day in, day out. But also the surrender to the divine card talks about actually like letting go of certain things once again that aren't within your greatest good, surrendering those things over to the universe, letting go of these like materialistic or earthly attachments. It may also just be something like, watching too much TV, binge watching TV, or spending too much time on your phone, which we all tend to do. These sort of habits that we know just aren't really the best thing for us. It's time for you to be really honest about these habits in life that are just preventing you from being like the best possible version of yourself. Because I do see this being a group that has the ability to achieve amazing things here with the full moon. Once you actually like really come into full alignment with yourself by just putting yourself first, essentially. Saying no to people if you need to too. You have the forgiveness card. And you also have the card of remain positive. Interesting. So if you have been hurt, potentially pile 3, by somebody in your past, there may have been a loved one, a close family member, or even a partner or somebody that hurt you. Or maybe that you've actually undertaken activities in your past. There's something that maybe you've done to yourself, or that you perceive that you've done to yourself anyway, that has caused you a lot of pain. I do see a group that maybe is quite harsh on yourself. There's a bit of like negative self-talk here I'm picking up on. It's time to cut that out, to try and cut down the negative talks, the negative self-beliefs, and to just let go and forgive yourself, all those people that may have hurt you in your past, so that you can actually like be free of the pain or the anger or the anguish from those experiences. Forgiveness quite often is not necessarily about the other person. It's more so for our own benefit. When you choose to forgive someone that's really hurt you, you don't even need to necessarily bring them back into your life. There's no need for that at all. But just forgiving them so that you can be free of the feelings of anguish or anger or frustration allows you to be able to like live the life that you've always wanted. Those experiences can keep you stuck in the past if you don't allow yourself to let go of them. And with the remain positive card falling in the surrender to the divine, if you are feeling a little bit stuck in life, pile 3, like I sense that you know where you want to go, but potentially things just haven't been going down that path the way that you had planned. Things haven't been as easy as you would hope for. This card is really just calling for you to keep at it, potentially. I think once you actually choose to like do the work and let go of certain experiences in your life, or actually cutting out a little bit more those things that aren't serving you or working for you, it may be like unhealthy food or alcohol potentially. You don't necessarily have to cut them out completely, but even just choosing to be a bit more in moderation with how much you consume actually has a massive benefit in terms of your mental health, in terms of your physical health, and in terms of your spiritual health. I really see a group that can achieve amazing things when you, and I do see that you will. Just know that, like, the more work that you put in to actually, like, choosing to better yourself, pile 3, the more assistance you get from the universe. Like, it was quite amazing when I was doing a lot of inner work too. I had a few addictions that I really felt I just could never live without. I used to drink quite a bit in my past, and now I barely drink at all. Saying that, I did have a couple of drinks last night, but that's okay. But I just thought that I could never really get to a phase where I would feel comfortable not wanting alcohol, but it just kind of happened naturally after, like, I spent some time choosing to proactively not drink certain nights of the week. All of a sudden I realized that I'd gone like a whole month without having a drink, and I'm like, wow, how did that happen? But it kind of naturally just starts to fall away if you choose to focus on it and allow yourself to overcome it. Like, the universe sort of works with you to allow yourself to be the best version of yourself. So there is positives in this reading, most definitely. I sense that you will achieve amazing things when you allow yourself to really look after yourself the way that I think you already know you need to, pile 3. Moving on from that, let's get some further messages for you from the Commonplace Tarot deck. Spirit, can we get some further messages for pile 3 about what it is they need to do in order to allow themselves to be free of these things that maybe aren't the best for them? Ooh. Oh wow, the cards are just flying up for you. Okay. So you have 6 cards here. Pile 3. This is amazing. This is more than any other pile. You have the King of Swords. You have the 3 of Swords. You have the 2 of Cups. You have the Ace of Wands. You have the 4 of Cups. And you also have, you have the Death card in reverse, right? So what I see from those cards, interesting that only one of them came out reverse, the Death card. I really just see that you're, like, struggling to, I think you know, or you have the sense already, pile 3, that you need to let go of certain experiences. Most definitely I'm seeing a lot of grief here with the 4 of Cups here. The man sitting under the tree looking very forlorn. I just sense that there's been experiences from your past that didn't plan out the way that you want. It's caused you a lot of grief. There may have also been a relationship that just didn't work out for you. I really just sense there's been more than one experience for you that you were dwelling on potentially. So part of it is for you, it's about choosing to move on from these experiences. Maybe you need to grieve or let go of the pain that's within you about certain experiences from your past that just weren't for the best. Most definitely there's a lot of, like, grief here is what I see. This man looks very sad, very forlorn. And the 3 of Cups really talks, and the 3 of Swords really talks about grief. But what I do see for you also is a lot of positive experiences in your future. The King of Swords here indicates to me that you do have a very strong connection to the spiritual realm. This is a group that may have certain spiritual gifts with the clear quartz seer stone here. So you might have clear seeing, clairvoyance, or potentially have a sudden inspiration or sudden understanding about what it is you're meant to do, like an epiphany, claircognizance, maybe one of your spiritual gifts too. Pile 3 is what I'm seeing. But with the Ace of Wands here and the 2 of Cups, there's a lot of, like, positivity in your future. I just see that you're feeling a little bit stuck right now because there's some experiences from your past that you haven't processed properly. You need to do some self-reflection on the things that maybe happened in your past that hurt you and allow yourself to grieve is what I'm getting. I do sense that potentially this is a group with the 2 Cups here that may dabble in certain substances to just prevent having to feel the grief or to prevent feeling the pain. But unfortunately, these experiences or these substances quite often cause us more grief. They prevent us from moving forward. They keep us stuck. So it's time for you to have a really sort of like honest inventory about the things that are really holding you back, and also to do a bit of like soul searching about certain experiences from your past that you just haven't let go of. I'm sensing pile 3. There's a lot of positivity in your future with the Ace of Wands here, and the Two of Cups, potentially even a new relationship is just around the horizon. But most definitely a lot of like passion and love for yourself, a lot of inner love, a lot of self-love is what I see for you, pile 3, when you start to like commit to being the best version of yourself. That's all I have for you, pile 3. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Just on another note, I'm actually starting personal readings in September 2020. So if you enjoyed this reading and got something out of it, and you'd like a personal reading, the information on how to get in contact with me is in the description box for this video. So have a look and send me an email. I wish you a beautiful day, and let's move on to pile 4. Hello, pile 4, with the lovely leopard jasper. I always see this as being more like a zebra. It looks like a zebra skin to me, the black and white. Just kind of reminds me of someone that I think needs to be more comfortable in their own skin. That, you know, you're a zebra. You don't need to be a unicorn. You don't need to be a horse or a giraffe. It's best to just be who you are and accept yourself for what you have to offer. But moving on from that, pile 4, let's see what's holding you back by starting with your Mystic Healing Oracle cards. You have the card of Temper Your Criticism, number 33. Interesting, 33 being the number of expansion, of growth and creativity. I sense that potentially for you, pile 4, you're a lot more talented and have a lot more to offer than I think you even imagine. I sense that potentially you're your own worst enemy. You can get in your head and be quite critical. You bring yourself down a lot. The things that you say to yourself aren't necessarily true. I think people see in you something quite unique and very special. I really sense that you're quite talented. You may be very creative, or at least there's a need for you to just quiet your mind and to turn those negative thoughts into positives potentially, or at least find a way to stop the negative self-talk. I think sometimes we can like hold ourselves back by being our own worst enemy and seeing things within us that just aren't necessarily true. So it's time for you to really like start to believe in yourself a little bit more. Turn that criticism, those negative thoughts that you have, into positive affirmations, and to start to see what it is that you have to offer, to see how unique you are. Really believe in your creative abilities is what I'm picking up on, pile 4. But let's get some further insight for you about what's holding you back from your oracle cards. You have number 17 in clarity. And you have the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action, right? So what's really interesting about these cards is that the clarity card and the temper your criticism card are very similar in their meaning, in terms of starting to believe in yourself, to think more clearly, more positively about your own abilities, pile 4. The clarity card talks about like negative belief systems or biases, potentially feeling as if like you don't have the ability to do the things that you dream of. But you really do. I see this being a group that is very talented, highly creative. I'm sensing, pile 4. I think you have a lot of gifts to share with the rest of the world, but I sense that maybe you just question your own abilities is what I'm picking up on. So it's time for you to really start believing in yourself and to shut down those belief systems that aren't serving you, that are keeping you small and holding you back from actually fulfilling your biggest dreams and desires, but actually also fulfilling your life purpose is what I'm sensing, pile 4. The clarity card also talks about like coming into a phase of just knowing what it is that you're supposed to be doing next, having a clear purpose or clear direction. So what I really see for you, Pile 4, is you need to start to trust your instincts and your intuition a little bit more too. Along with the new moon in Aries here, it says here it's time to take action. And what I'm seeing for those from that card, I get two meanings from that card. It's in terms of it's time to take action in terms of like actually overcoming this belief system that you maybe don't have what you need within you to be able to do the things that you've always wanted, or to like overcome your own self-doubt. This is a group that potentially has dealt with like depression or anxiety issues. There may have been experiences in your past that have caused you to have a little bit of doubt in your abilities. But I really just am picking up on a group with the zebra here, or the leopard jasper, that has a lot of skills and gifts to share with other people. You are a lot more talented than you can ever imagine, powerful. So what I sense for you, what you need to do is probably start to work on whenever you have a thought that is shutting you down or holding you back or is quite negative. If you say something to yourself like, no, I could never do that, I'm not good enough, or, oh, I'm not as good as that person, I don't have the skills that they do, I'm afraid to do that, I don't think I could succeed. It's time for you to start to like counteract or to balance those thoughts out by catching yourself when you say them, and then like actively changing your mindset by positive affirmations, by saying, no, that's not true, that's just the negative talk in my head. I am powerful, I am intelligent, I do have a lot to offer, I am enough as I am. You are the zebra here, remember. Who you are is enough already. Yeah, just try to be a little bit more mindful about the words and the sentences that you tell yourself in your head. Remember, they're only like expressions. They're just a story that we tell ourselves. They're not necessarily true. We can sometimes get too caught up in our own thoughts, and we tend to allow our emotions to react to the thoughts that we have. So you are good enough. You have the ability to really be quite successful, I sense, if you choose to try and actively change your mindset and believe in yourself. And with the it's time to take action, I sense that there is something that you've always wanted to do, or you've wanted to change paths in life. Maybe you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied in the current work that you're doing. In a relationship that's not serving you, you might feel it's time to change or to get out of a relationship potentially. You feel a little unhappy with where you are in life right now, but you have the strength and the ability to really to be quite successful, and to change your life for the better. Pile 4 is what I'm seeing. All you need to do is to trust in your strong intuition and to try and counteract or counterbalance any negative thoughts that you have and replace them with positive thoughts of how strong you are, or what you have to offer, about like confirming to yourself that you have certain talents or gifts that you can share with other people. Remember, Aries is the first in the zodiac, wants to be the best at everything. So I really see that you have a lot of talent. Not only are you're okay at certain things, but people see you as being like the best at whatever your creative gift or talent is, powerful, is what I'm sensing. I also see here like the scales in the temper your criticism card kind of reminds me of like the justice card of bringing in things into balance. I am picking up on a group that may have had certain experiences in the past that they may consider to have been not fair. People may have been quite critical to you, potentially. People have said things to you that may have lowered your self-esteem and made you believe that whatever it is that you've wanted to do or go after, that potentially you're not good enough or you don't have the talents. But I just see a group here with the leopard jasper and the new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. That is very talented and very creative. Your next two cards. Ooh, you have the card of be assertive. Nice. It's very Aries energy right there. Being bold and making the first move. Believing in yourself and believing that you are the best at whatever it is that you do. And you also have the card of success. That's lovely. Beautiful. Most definitely, this is a group that potentially can be their own worst enemy. I think a lot of us can be, so that's not a judgment at all. I know that sometimes it's hard to get up the strength and the courage to put ourselves out there, or to believe in ourselves, to believe that the dream life that we've always wanted to create could actually come true. But with the Be Assertive card here and the Success, these two cards are really indicating that when you take action on your biggest dreams and desires, that you have the ability to achieve whatever it is that you wanted in life, powerful. Noting also that your spirit guides are coming in quite strongly here with the Clarity card. That when you choose to shut down those negative thoughts and listen to your intuition, follow your gut instincts, that they will guide you on the right path, that they can be trusted. It's time to take action and be assertive. These two cards are very similar in their meaning. It's time for you to be aggressive, powerful, be aggressive into what is it that you've always wanted to achieve. If you were the only person in the world, what is it that you would want to do with your life? Where would you want to take your life? What would you like to build? What things bring you joy? Those are the things that you should be thinking about and really following and chasing, powerful. I also am seeing here, with the new moon in Aries, it's time to take action, and the Success card falling under the Temper Your Criticism card, that if you actually start to choose to change your mindset, start to replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts that balance it out like the scales here in the Temper Your Criticism card, or at least start to tell yourself that those thoughts aren't true. I like to give my negative thoughts a name. I call him Bob. So when I have a thought that is less than desirable, I catch myself out and I say, all right, thanks, Bob. Thanks for that. That's not true. And then I try to counteract that thought with a positive thought. So when I say oh, I'm not good at doing tarot readings, I don't want to do it today, I think, all right, Bob, thank you for that. You know what? I'm going to do a tarot reading because I enjoy it. So I think for you, it's also just about trying to just be in the moment, powerful, also, and to not allow those thoughts to come in that may ruin the experience when you're in them. So let's say that you enjoy painting or drawing. Just be in the moment and not overthink that experience. If it brings you joy, then try not to let your negative thoughts about whether you're a good drawer or whether you're a good painter get in the way. It's all about trying to be in the moment. This is a group that could really get a lot of benefit out of meditation too, I'm sensing. Doing activities that quiet the mind so that you can actually focus on one experience. It will also enhance your connection to your guides and strengthen your intuition. Just remember, powerful, you're a lot stronger than I think you ever imagined, and you have some gifts and talents that you really need to put yourself out there with. It's time to take action. Moving on from that, let's get some further messages and insight for you from the Commonplace Tarot deck. Spirit, can we get some further messages, please, for Pile 4 about how they can shut down their mind and overcome their own negative self-beliefs or their fears of putting themselves out there and taking action on the things that they enjoy doing? Can we get some further messages, please, Spirit, for pile number 4? Okay. Ooh, okay. Ooh. Oh, wow. Ah. Okay, well, we might stop it there. So pile 4, your 3 tarot cards, you have the 7 of Swords in reverse. And I love that this woman, if you can see when I look at upright, it's like she's staring in the mirror at her own reflection. You have the High Priestess, lovely. And you also have the Hermit card. So what I see for those... So what I'm seeing with the Hermit card and the High Priestess here, along with the Clarity card, this is a group that really has strong intuition and a strong connection to something bigger. I sense that you're quite spiritually inclined and you have a really strong sort of amicable connection with your spirit guides. You trust them. Or at least I sense that it's time for you to put more trust in those in those sort of intuitive nudges that you're receiving, pile 4. And with the Hermit card here, and as I mentioned earlier, spending time in meditation with the Clarity card here, I just sense that this is a group that could get a lot of benefit through like spending time in meditation, or at least spending time like reflecting upon your life, doing a lot of introspection, self-reflection here with the Seven of Swords. If there are things that have happened in your past that maybe have caused you to doubt yourself or have stopped you from really chasing after the things that you want from life, I really think it's time for you to maybe see the benefits from those experiences. The Seven of Swords here talks about like betrayal, or somebody that may have been tricked in the past by other people. But when it's in reverse, I sense that it's also about, I just see it being you tricking yourself into believing that maybe you can't achieve the things you want. But there's the most definitely with the Success card here, the Be Assertive, and the New Moon in Aries, it's time to take action. This is a group that can achieve amazing things if you choose to just really trust in yourself and trust that you have a strong connection to something bigger that's really guiding you on your journey. This is a group I sense that really does a lot of amazing things when they spend time alone at home. I think you're somebody that enjoys spending a lot of time on your own, with the High Priestess here in the Hermit card indicating that whilst you're in solitude is where you do your most amazing work. You may be able to think a lot more clear about what it is that you want, or where you want it, what direction you want your creative talents to go down. It may be when you actually get those downloads of inspiration about like what novel to write, or how to overcome that challenge at work, or something like that. So in terms of sort of overcoming your own negative self-talk or issues of like low self-esteem, pile 4, I think you already know what to do. It's about spending a bit more time alone in terms of like strengthening your connection to something bigger, but also just starting to replace those negative self-beliefs with something more positive. That's all I have for you, pile 4. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Just a side note, I'm actually starting like personal readings now in September 2020. So if you enjoyed this reading and you would like to book a personal reading, you can get the details on how to do that in the description box of this reading. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.